before the 1920s, women kept up with traditional responsibilities such as taking care of the kids and staying home all day and doing daily chores. After World War I, women started working as accountants, nurse, and telephone operators. They became wage-earning consumers that worked outside of their homes. They went from housewives to political and social reformers. Women became independent and productive. Also, a group of women emerged known as the Flappers.
As you saw in that video, those beautiful women are us. My name is Molly, and this is Betsy. Hey guys. We are known to the public as Flappers. Flappers represent the young women today in the roaring 20s. We are symbolized as young birds flapping our wings and learning how to fly. We are the coolest cats. We are all tired of wearing long skirts and acting all classy. We love the jazz and partying all night long. I hate how society thinks we're not capable of doing what men do. I can smoke when I want to, and I can drink when I want to. I don't want to waste my young life waiting for the things to happen by itself. If I want to do something, I will do it. I want to enjoy my life. Thank God we finally got the right to vote. Amen to that. I have the green light to explore this world. I can have sex with any man I want to, and I can party all night with my girls smoking and drinking. Yeah, you tell them. We encourage all women to be like us. You might think we are trashy, but when you're older and you look back at your life, you might think, I should have done more fun stuff when I was younger, and you'll regret not being one of us, just like us. We live our lives, and when we are ready to settle down, we will. Well, I hope we have convinced you enough to be one of us. Flappers signing out. Bye, dolls.
Hi, so I'm going to talk about women in the 1920s. The 1920s were a big decade for women. They just gained so many rights and they achieved so many great things. And it really helped them gain recognition as far as they weren't really considered just a normal housewife anymore. They were considered working real citizens and real people, and they gained so many rights. They gained the right to vote. They started working after World War I. So many jobs opened for them. And I'm just basically going to focus on important women in the 1920s. The first important woman I'm going to focus on was Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was born September 14th, 1879, and she was really popular for creating birth control. And really, it was an unaccepted idea just because it was pushing the boundaries. You were getting out of the boundaries, and it was showing that women had the right to do what they wanted. They had the right to say yes or no. And she really got ridiculed for it a lot. However, she made the biggest, maybe arguably the biggest movement women have ever made, as far as just saying, okay, we're women and we're gonna have rights. She made a big movement. Now her birth control is used worldwide. It's a very accepted idea, and she had just a big. The next important woman was Gertrude Ederle. She swam the English Canal, and this was a big step because, no one thought it was hard enough for a man to do it, but let alone for a woman to do it was considered impossible. She swam it in bad weather, bad conditions. She pushed herself through it, and she ended up even beating the men's world record by 2 hours. She swam it in 14 hours, and 31 minutes. And this was just a huge accomplishment for them. And she really showed that women could push the limits and succeed. They weren't just housewives anymore. They didn't have to cook dinner. They could go out there and do just what men could do. The final woman I'm going to talk about is Amelia Earhart. She's one of the most historical figures, like important historical figures, because men were really flying planes. Planes were a new machine at the time, and even men were lucky enough to fly planes, and it was a skilled talent to be able to fly the planes. And Amelia Earhart showed that women could do it too. She was born in 1897 in Kansas, and she was famous really for flying the Atlantic as a woman. And she ended up going missing in her world tour over the Pacific, and she was never seen again. But her influence just on women's rights and how women just could push the limits was just great. Another important event for women in the 1920s, it's not really an important woman, but a combination of many important women, were the Olympic Games of 1928. Women really showed that they could compete at a high level of sports just like men could, and they could win gold medals. They really had a great impact. Many people loved watching women play sports, even though it was still a controversial issue. Women really impacted the sports world on their talent, their abilities, their passion to compete with men and show that they could be just as good as men were in the 1920s.
Before the 1920s, women kept up with traditional responsibilities such as taking care of kids and doing common chores in the house. Bro, why? Who texted me? Who texted me? Look who texted me. Who was it? Ah, it was Roderick. Why'd you text?
Oh my god.
This is too cool.
Look at Sako. Look at Sako all like wearing.
Daha gaylanı çıkmasın, let's make sure.